What is up, everybody? It's your boy Age. We are live here in the studio after the final game of the season for the Minnesota Vikings. And Josh, he is with me, and I see you've got a little bit of emotion behind you, Josh.
I'm sad.
Sad.
It's all over. It's a fun year, kind of, I guess. Disappointing, but looking forward to next season, to the draft, to the off season. Looking forward to more football today. Go Bears!
Go Bears, indeed. Before we get into the whole show today, I want to tell you about our friends at Underdog Fantasy. They sponsor this show. They help us out with a bunch of stuff at 10K, and they've been putting y'all on with deposit matches and great bets all season. So Underdog Fantasy in the Pick'em game, just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite player stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your Pick'em entry, get every pick right, and take home some cold hard cash. Use the code 10K and get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog Fantasy. So Underdog Fantasy, they've been doing some good stuff. I saw the 10K Bets boys today put up a slip with 3 Vikings players and then the Lions kicker, and it would have hit, but the Lions kicker just needed one more field goal and he didn't quite get there. So we've got some interesting comments here. Skol, we lost. Trade JJ, fire Adolfo and KOC. I don't think any of those things will happen because it's not any of their fault. Maybe Kwesi, if you want to really put the blame on him for not having a good draft class that first year and essentially submarining our talent with picking Lewis Cine and whatnot. But that's a different story for a different day. So, yeah. Comments are already interesting.
Interesting game today. I don't know what took so long to get the ball in Justin Jefferson's hands. He was a beast after the first quarter. He didn't even have a target until the second quarter. Got to get him the ball earlier. He was pissed off, which I understand. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm already on to next year. I'm looking forward to Vikings hosting a Super Bowl trophy next season.
Yeah, well, let's get into it with this game here. So the Vikings finish with a 30-20 loss, falling to 7-10. A loss will officially eliminate the Vikings from the playoffs. So those hopeful people that were having fingers crossed for that dream scenario to happen, it is crushed. But like I mentioned, our boy Justin Jefferson, he wanted to round out the season well. And he needed just 118 yards to get to 1,000 on the season. And he did so today, becoming the third player to get to 1,000 yards playing under a half a season. So, 12 catches, 192 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 beautiful gritty. You can feel however you want about the season, but I really like that we got to see another gritty today.
Yeah. It felt like the appropriate way to end the season. Ending it on a Nick Mullins interception was also fitting. Who knows, that interception, might have secured us a Michael Penix Jr. perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah, we love it. A Michael Penix Jr., a Bo Nix, a move-up spot for Jaden Daniels. All the cards are on the table. But Nick Mullins, he came out dueling. So 30 completions, 44 attempts, 396 yards. He did have the 2 touchdowns. He did have the 2 interceptions. And then he also got sacked 4 times. So, we talked about it, and it's been a theme all season long, particularly in the back half. The offensive line has made a crushing slide to back to earth, and today it just looked like more of the same. And I don't know, they were dealing with injuries, but the Lions just turned up that blitz. They did what they did, and eventually the interceptions came for Nick Mullins.
Yeah, the O-line has just been awful. Seems like that back half of the season. Like you said, injuries. No Brian O'Neill today hurt. Would it have mattered? Maybe.
Probably not.
Brian O'Neill hasn't been much the second half of the season either. So yeah, I don't know. Just AJ, kind of felt good to watch a game and not want to jump off a bridge. I think the whole game, it just felt like we knew the inevitable was coming. So just like I said on Saturday during our pregame show, I just sat back and kind of enjoyed our last couple quarters of Vikings football.
And I think even the scoring plays that the Lions had, it wasn't like it kind of just like came in a quick little avalanche. Like they had that quick pass down the field to Khalif Raymond, punching it on a run. They had the crazy catch and run by St. Brown, who's a monster, and Caleb Evans is suddenly giving up on the season because he didn't try at all on that play and just let him rock and run and walk by him. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That secondary has got me worried. And I know, like, corners don't grow on trees, but we have been trying at this thing forever, and it's not working out.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yeah. I don't know. And secondary wise, we very well might have just watched Harrison Smith's last game for the Vikings, which is sad. Maybe Hunter's last game. I mean, yeah, the secondary is dog shit, just terrible. No Byron Murphy hurts, but yeah, Caleb Evans, it's just not. It's not good. It's really not. It's over now. So we don't need to feel this pain every Sunday, but yeah, it sucks.
Couple other things to touch on. Greg Joseph, 2 for 2 today at the line, long of 43. So he was able to put in some field goals for us. And, he's had his struggles, but certainly when we needed him to kick field goals and we weren't going for it on 4th and 6, he was doing his work in the back half of the season. So shout out to Greg, the third leg, Joseph, for doing his thing. My buddy was like, do you think Greg will be back next year? And I mean, I don't see why not, but with kickers, you just really never know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he missed a couple kicks this year, but he didn't give me a reason to not want him back.
Right.
He's a vet. He's been in the league a while. I think it's, when we were talking to Andrew DePaula, it's just kind of good to keep that room consistent. Kind of keep those same guys in the special teams room. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's back. We'll see.
Speaking of our friend Andrew DePaula, did you see that video of his agent pulling up on him in Detroit?
Did.
With the full suit. They were shaking hands pregame. I'm like, oh my God, let's go. That's his agent.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was super cool to see. So love to see that. Andrew DePaula, Pro Bowl, all that shit. Ring it up. Ty Chandler also had a good day today, too. He was getting some pops. He was getting to the second level. Once again, I think we saw hopefully the final game for Alexander Mattison in a Vikings uniform because, I mean, that ain't it. I mean, we're going to end the year with him being our leading rusher. He didn't even score a damn rushing touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, I think no more Madison. I think Ty Chandler's going to be the guy. Probably take a running back in the 4th round from Georgia Southern or some shit. Just a guy they can throw out there. But yeah, Ty Chandler had a good game. Yeah, I'm not sad that Madison might be gone.
Not sad at all either. I think it was the first interception that Nick Mullins threw down the stretch there where they set a blitz and Alexander Mattison kind of just ends up on the ground, laying down in front of the offensive line.
Yeah.
And not blocking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of a microcosm of what his season has been.
Pretty much. A lot of just laying down and not doing any good.
So tough year for him. But at least, when one door closes, another one opens up. And I think we saw that with Ty Chandler coming down the stretch here.
Yeah.
12 carries, 69 yards. Nice for Ty Chandler today. So he was able to do some things. 2 catches, 20 yards as well. So keep getting him the ball, and he was cooking. Yeah. Johnny Munt, would you believe that he was the second leading wide receiver today? 5 catches, 58 yards. He's never going to have that many yards ever again.
I don't know. When Johnny Munt's your second leading receiver, that's not a good thing. Addison had a nice touchdown. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sad. I'm not heartbroken. I don't know. Let's just hope, now that we're out, let's just hopefully we can get a pretty high draft pick and kind of rebuild this thing and hit the ground running next year.
I think the feeling for me today is I'm sad that it's over, but I'm relieved that it was an entertaining enough game. We got to see another gritty.
Yeah.
Everything kind of came to fruition that we wanted with Ty Chandler and him getting the yards and whatnot. And then we still lost. So,
Yeah.
the Lions did their thing and we did our thing, what we wanted to do, because there wasn't any point for us to win today. And I think we both kind of hit on that on Thursday, but or earlier on Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, so we lose, get a better draft pick, and let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah. And one thing, AJ, I get the Lions like kind of needed to win that game to maybe get a better seed, but Sam Laporta might be out for the year now. You know what I mean? And Amon-Ra had that rib injury. I get it, but guys, seeding's important.
Got hurt too.
You're right. Seeding's important, but you're still in the playoffs. You need to keep your dogs healthy.
Right. Yeah, I think they could have maybe taken it a little bit easier with some of those guys, especially because, you're in. You don't really need to do anything else. I think it was kind of a long shot anyway that they were going to get the 2 seed. Yeah. So, but we knew they were going to go full send, and that's just kind of in their DNA. They don't seem like the team that would rest guys and blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're all heart, man, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. Maybe this is a tough learning lesson because if Laporta ain't going to be there next week, it's going to be tough sailing on the passing game for the Lions. So
yeah. I still think they're a first-round exit.
I mean, not that it mattered anyway for us in the second half because they kept doing their thing, and Amon-Ra went for a 70-yard score down the sideline, and Donovan Peoples-Jones was getting wide open on crossing routes. This defense is just
yeah.
Man.
And yeah, I mean, offensively, we looked good at times on the offensively. There were a lot of just dumb delay of games.
I'll never understand that.
Yeah, I
snap the ball.
If I'm a Lions fan right now, I'm a little worried because you just let Nick Mullins, put up some numbers on your defense. What's it going to look like next week when you're playing potentially Matthew Stafford at home with, I would say, a little more high caliber Rams offense?
I mean, if Nick Mullins put up 411 and 391 on the Lions, Stafford might go in there and put up fucking 460 on their bitch ass.
Yeah,
that game might be a track meet. Hit the over. They're both going to score 30.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
So,
yeah. But yeah, we still got some ball today. I think there's 7 games in the 3 o'clock window, and then we got a game tonight. So get to watch some more ball and hopefully the Bears win and knock the Packers out. That would kind of be a good ending to my Sunday.
I'd be cool with that too. And Justin Fields, he needs to ball out today to kind of keep his spot, or not even keep his spot, to show people that he can be that guy, because the Bears have a tough and very interesting decision to make coming up here in the offseason with if they're going to hold that number 1 pick and take Caleb Williams, or if they're going to move off that and get more capital. So a lot of things up in the air for our surrounding neighbors in the NFC North in this late 3 o'clock window still to go here with some football. But
yeah,
I mean, would you have ever thought that the Vikings this year would have a better road record than a home record? 5-4 versus 2-6 at home. 2-6.
That's bad.
At that beautiful place.
That's really bad.
That's awful.
That has to be. That almost makes me think that's the worst home record at US Bank Stadium.
It has to be.
Got to be up there, right?
It has to be.
I mean, we've had bad seasons since we've been there, but 2-6 at home, Jesus.
We lost to every division rival at home. Ick.
And 2 of them were on primetime. So just rub it in a little more.
Yep.
Stupid.
Cool.
Stupid.
Just so many things this season. So, I mean, not to jump too far ahead of it here, but the offseason, there's going to be a lot of questions answered. We're going into the 3rd year era of KOC and Kwesi. and it's going to be their biggest year yet. And you kind of touched on it in the pregame show. This is going to kind of put them, if they have some, I don't think if the Vikings have a bad year, KOC's on the hot seat necessarily. I think Kwesi is for sure if things go south.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're kind of paired up because, they were brought in together too. But yeah, this is for KOC, it is, but especially for Kwesi, this is a make or break draft. If this draft is a bust, if we draft another Christian Ponder, I don't see him being around much. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm hoping that we finally draft the guy, like just once. We haven't had the guy ever, so just yeah, a lot to look at this offseason, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a lot to look at this offseason, a lot riding on whatever happens with that first draft pick, whoever it may fall, and if they tried to move up. We heard the story coming out that they tried to sell the farm and all the cattle for Anthony Richardson to move up to pick him, and that didn't work out. So I wouldn't imagine that this offseason and the draft process is going to look any different because they're going to try and move up and get their guy. So it's going to be a long few months, but we will be here with episodes kind of sprinkling throughout the offseason just to keep you updated on some things. If we do have something big happen, we will come with an emergency podcast. But yeah, that's kind of how we're feeling the offseason will go.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride this year, and thank you to all those who have stuck with us and been a loyal follower and listened to our show. So we're gonna get in the lab this off season and kind of cook some things up for next year. So we're excited for what's to come.
Super excited, and I want to take a moment to thank everybody that helped me out with this show before you came in, Josh. Because when I first started this at the beginning of the season, it was kind of a wishy-washy. We kind of just went into it. And I was, the main guy. And I had Adam helping me out from Third and Forever. Kevin ended up jumping on for an episode. Fucking Sarge jumped on for a couple episodes. He had a fucking green screen background of Mount Rushmore with Josh Dobbs after we beat the Saints. That was probably my highlight of the year is seeing that. Freaking Boss Man jumping on from the studio after the 49ers game. Everybody that helps me out this season with everything show-wise. Marissa rocking her thing on socials. I know y'all been seeing her post. She's been killing it. So thank you to everybody that's helped out this year with State of Skol. It has been a whirlwind to say the least. The middle of the year was looking really bleak there, but then things got fun, and then they did get fun. So it's been an interesting ride, but we're ready to ride the rocket into next year and got a lot of fun things planned too. So
yeah, a lot of exciting things coming up.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us here on this final episode of the 2023 season. We will be back in the offseason with more content and ready to give you all the interesting stuff that's happening with the Minnesota Vikings and their offseason moves. Okay. For AJ and Josh here at State of Skol, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see y'all later.
See you guys.